My husband is mute. At our wedding, it was his best friend who spoke his vows for him. I married David 3 years ago after meeting at a coffee shop on 5th Street downtown. His selective mutism, caused by severe childhood trauma, according to his protective sister Claire, made him seem deep and mysterious. His best friend Marcus always translated his sign language. When we moved into our beautiful dream house on Maple Avenue last spring, Claire helped us decorate every single room. She had strong opinions about everything, especially about how I should properly treat David. He truly needs endless patience. She'd constantly remind me whenever I seemed frustrated. His condition makes absolutely everything so much harder for him. The first red flag was our wedding night. David gestured that he was too exhausted for intimacy. Claire had warned this might happen. Physical closeness overwhelms people with his condition, she explained when I confided my disappointment. For 3 years, I accommodated every limitation. I handled all phone calls, appointments, and confrontations. When neighbors complained about our dog, I dealt with it alone because David couldn't handle conflict. Last month, during anniversary dinner at Romano's, Claire accidentally knocked over my wine, staining my white dress. David watched me clean up, making apologetic gestures but offering no help. He feels terrible, Claire said, not looking sorry, but you know he can't handle stress. That's when I started noticing things. David's phone buzzed constantly, but he claimed work emails stressed him out. Claire often answered calls meant for him, speaking in hushed tones by the window. 2 weeks ago, I surprised David at his downtown office. I brought lunch from his favorite deli on Market Street. His secretary seemed confused when I mentioned his condition. Mutism? She asked. Mr. Thompson gives presentations twice weekly. He spoke at Tuesday's board meeting for over an hour. My stomach dropped. I asked to see security footage. There was David, confidently addressing executives, gesturing as he spoke. No Marcus translating, no distress. I called our family doctor immediately. I need David's records regarding his mutism, I said, voice shaking. I'm sorry, Mrs. Thompson, but we have no documentation of that condition. Mr. Thompson has never mentioned speech issues during checkups. That afternoon, I hired investigator Janet Rodriguez. I paid her $2,500 upfront for complete background checks on David, Claire, and Marcus. The report arrived 3 days later. David had no trauma history or speech disorders. He'd been debate team captain and graduated summa cum laude from Northwestern's communications program. The investigator included audio recordings from restaurants where David discussed keeping Lucy in line. In one recording, Claire's voice, "She's so gullible." David doesn't want her constant questions about money, so the mute thing is perfect. She handles everything while he focuses on work. Marcus laughed. Brilliant strategy. She even excuses him ignoring her in bed. My hands shook hearing David's voice. 3 more years and I can divorce her. By then, I'll have saved enough for the lake house without splitting assets. I sat outside our house staring at our bedroom window where David supposedly rested after stressful days. The man I'd protected for 3 years had been playing an elaborate game. The next morning, David left for his usual silent retreat with Marcus. I spent those days documenting everything, photographing hidden phone records, copying financial documents, recording our empty house where he needed constant quiet. I visited divorce attorney Patricia Chen, who specializes in fraud cases. I brought Janet's complete report and recordings. This constitutes marital fraud, she said. He's obtained money, care, and accommodation under false pretenses. We can pursue criminal charges. Sunday evening, David returned with his usual exhaustion pantomime. Claire arrived with homemade soup, playing caring sister-in-law perfectly. I waited until they settled in the living room, Claire fussing over David's pretend fatigue. Then I walked downstairs with my laptop and pressed play. David's voice filled the room. "She's so gullible. The mute thing is perfect." David's face went white. Claire jumped up with nowhere to run. I looked at my husband and smiled calmly. "I filed for divorce yesterday. Patricia Chen sends her regards." David opened his mouth, then closed it, forgetting which version of himself to be. "Oh, and David, the process server arrives tomorrow. I suggest finding your voice. You'll need it to explain this to a judge. Sometimes the loudest statement is made in perfect silence."